Okay, good morning, everyone. As you can see, this time it's somebody else on the other side of the podcast. It's Richard here in order to get an insight into the world of Wendy. Okay, I've known Wendy for a little while, and I've got to say that as a character, I've seen her change and grow and learn so much more, and it proves just how much is behind everyone that we get to meet as well. And so, introducing Wendy. Okay, got a few little questions if I can, just to get things kind of going. Because overall, you've been on one heck of a journey.
I have.
You started off with a life where you clearly wanted more, and without sounding strange, it's been started off with a fairly average type of life. It's a life, just like virtually everyone else around us. But you clearly wanted more, just like we all want more from our lives, don't we? Would you say
Mm,
that you're different from anyone else?
No, admittedly, I'm not your average almost 60-year-old who can just get up and leave wherever they happen to be. Because I appreciate that other people have got ties and things, but yeah, no, I'm nothing special.
No.
Excuse the word for the moment.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the interesting thing because you sort of led a very interesting life in terms of how you've been determined to actually change the direction. You've
Yeah,
wanted more from life. You've realized that you've got this one life that you want to make the absolute most of.
yeah.
And you've kind of done this real right turn and your direction in life to really take you into some fairly uncharted territory. Was that a scary thing to do?
Oh golly, yes. um, it, it, the book will chronicles how life was going on along a certain trajectory, and then certain things have happened along the way which have prompted me to go, uh, now what? Now
Mm.
where? So this is where the life happens, and it's what you do with what happens.
Yes.
Whether you carry on your same familiar rut, or whether you go, okay, this is enough of a prompt to get me out of it to do something different.
Well, certainly life always throws at us lots of curveballs, and most of us will continue swimming downstream because that's the way that the current takes us. So
Mm.
to actually stop and decide to start swimming upstream against convention and do something a bit different and take this new journey, is that really what your book's all about?
It is. It is because, as I said, I've given hints of certain things that have happened along the way. You'll have to read the book to get the full story. The idea is that, as you said, you can carry on with these curveballs in the same direction and go with the flow, or you can go, yeah, actually, I'm making a conscious decision to do something different. This is an opportunity. You can see those curveballs as an opportunity, or you can see them as a smack in the teeth. So I I see it as an opportunity to go to the dentist and get a remake.
That's great. So who would you say the book is really aimed at?
I would say it's aimed at probably women, to be honest, in midlife. Those women who are in that situation where they've maybe empty nesters. They may be thinking, well, what is my role in life now? Because a lot of women have had their focus pretty much on the children and the family. And once
Mhm.
they've left, or if they're career women, they've had that going in tandem. And the career, when you hit a certain in your 50s, you start thinking about, well, what's life going to look like after I retire?
Mhm.
I know retiring age is getting older and older these days, but there are certain things that happen in a woman's 50s where hormones as well add into it. You take that step back and go, okay, everything is in turmoil, things are up in the air. What do I do with it? Where am I
Mm.
going with this? So that's the sort of people that I'm aiming it at for, as I said, primarily women, but people who are going, is this all there is?
Well, it's quite common for people to have what they call a midlife crisis, which often isn't midlife, and it's often not a crisis. And
Mm.
people handle it in different ways. Some people handle it by minor course corrections. Some people just ignore it. Some people handle it by minor course corrections to try to take them around. Others do really, really radical extreme moves and then wonder why they're pointing in such a different direction.
Yeah,
But a lot of it, I'm sure you'll agree, is all about identity, discovering your identity, rediscovering your identity. What
yeah.
was the sort of biggest revelation that you feel that everyone else really would love to actually to know about your journey and your revelations?
You've hit the nail on the head there, Richard. Identity. It took over 50, excuse me, I need a quick drink. It took over 50 years before I really stopped to uncover the things I was telling myself about my identity based on my conditioning, based on how and who I grew up with, the the things I told myself about what I needed to do to fit in. And it was when I stopped to take a look at those and go, are those stories still accurate? Is that identity still accurate? Without giving too much away, I lost my identity as a wife, as a carer, as a speech pathologist. I've been questioning my identity in terms of citizenship because I now have dual citizenship. So there are all sorts of identities that I've been questioning and looking at the stories that have perpetuated those identities. Are they still relevant? Are they still serving me? And if not, what do I need to change?
No, I mean that's interesting. I've often thought that who we are today is inherited from who we were yesterday,
Yes.
but we still having to choose to actually continue that journey. And obviously, it's also about what's important to you as a person
Yeah.
and whether you're actually being true to yourself. It's
Indeed.
clearly, and certainly having a great sneak peek through the whole book, it's clearly important that you've tried to rediscover who you really are beneath all of the stories that you tell yourself. But
Yeah.
how would you say it's really important to you, this journey and everything that you're expressed on page?
It's been, it still is, a journey of discovery. And it feels almost as though I've been cleaning off the grime from a gemstone.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm wearing pearls intentionally because pearls are created from that bit of grit that then gets built something pretty, something beautiful around it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a bit of a metaphor for how I feel that my life has been. But I couldn't see it because of all the layers of grime over the top.
Mm-hmm.
So removing the grime of all these identity stories is now bringing me down to the fact that there's a really beautiful pearl underneath this. And
Well,
life
it's
has
also
created
important
something
pearl, isn't
rather
it?
special.
Yeah, it's almost an inverse pearl, isn't it? Because you're removing the grime to
Yeah,
see the gem, as
yeah.
opposed to the bit of grit bringing, creating the
Um,
pearl.
but you see, the grit with the pearl was there already, but it was the
Mm-hmm.
overlay of the grime with the identities. So as they've been coming off, I can't change the fact that there's been grit.
Yes.
That grit will be there forever, and the pearl
Absolutely.
has created around that grit.
Yes.
The grime on the top was by perpetuating the stories I was telling myself, and that's what
Mm.
I've cleaned off. Does that make more sense?
Oh, absolutely. And your journey, since you've made that conscious decision to actually to live rather than just be alive, since you've made that conscious decision, you've actually obviously seen many continents, many worlds, many experienced many, many things.
Yeah.
Could you imagine what your life would be like if you hadn't have actually taken that journey?
Well, I'd probably still be a speech pathologist living in Scotland. Um,
Hmm.
Now, there's nothing wrong with either being a speechy or being in Scotland. but my life has changed so dramatically since I gave up that situation. I let go of that situation, which was I gave up being a speechie in Scotland in 2012. So things have progressed a long way since then.
Yes, and letting go and unloading all of those constraints obviously is a big theme, as you say, without giving away too much.
Yes.
So people to actually enjoy that journey and experience the highs, the lows, and the laughs along the way. When's the book coming out? What should people expect?
Ooh, well, the title is From Hoarder to Hand Luggage. Now, just to give you a bit of background on that, my family, both my family and my late husband's family, came through the war and had that sort of hold it together, that poverty mindset, because they experienced rationing. So that was where the hoarder bit comes in, because I grew up in that atmosphere of got to keep everything, got to keep everything. The 20 kilos, which is the hand luggage, that is literally what I left Perth with. My whole world existed in that 20 kilos. So that's where the shedding of stuff has happened as well. And that stuff, it started off as being initially a let's let go of the stuff. But it very quickly became, it's not only about the physical stuff, it's so much more in terms of the mental stuff, because those stories weigh one hell of a lot more than 20 kilos.
Absolutely. Well, you've certainly gone from that external exploration of the world to this internal exploration of who you are and how you've managed to find yourself, almost to the point that you've got not quite a formula for finding the real you, but you've worked hard to chip away anything that isn't the real you.
Yes.
And that means that you're carrying far less. If only they could weigh that as you get on the plane.
Exactly. I mean, there's the physical stuff, but there's so much less mental stuff that I'm carrying these days. And it just feels so much freer on every level.
So how can people find the book? How can people find you? How can people make contact with you?
I'm glad you asked. Most of the time I have a voice, you can talk to me. The book will be coming out in the next few days, so watch this space. By the time the podcast goes out, we will be just about published. So if you're looking at this now, we'll check you out on Amazon, or rather you can check us out on Amazon. So that'll be on Amazon initially as a Kindle, and a paperback is coming. Down the track there will also be an audio book, and it will be in bookshops as well. So there's 4 opportunities. The audiobook is not available at the moment. There's no way I can record with a voice like this at the moment. So that's where it's coming out, From Hoarder to Hand Luggage. And we'll put the links in the show notes so you've got those for reference.
That's perfect. Thank you again, and thank you for the opportunity to find out more. Thank you, Wendy.
So that's our extra special From Page to Stage. Thank you, Richard. Oh, audience. Richard has been incredibly helpful in getting this book to publication. He and I have Publishing for Good, the publishing company that are publishing this book. So that's just a quick plug as well. We'll see you very soon. Bye from us.